She never dealt with any of the mental things, and so she always was trying to eat when she couldn't eat. And she did lose the weight, but she was always so sick for so many years. And I learned my habits from her, so so anyway, so I'm a stay-at-home mom, educator. I have 5 children, ranging from 15 to 4. And before I began this journey, I was morbidly obese and very sick. I've been overweight for as long as I can remember. I can remember being 8 years old and having to shop in the plus size section. In the past few years, though, my weight has really gone up, went up, and I reached over 300 pounds. One time I stepped on the scale, and my scale said error because it only went to 320, is as high as the scale would go. I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. I was having heart palpitations, and I was having some other health problems that I had a lot of tests, and my doctors just were like, don't know what to tell you. If you lose a few pounds, might get better, might not. We don't know. You know, they had done everything to try to figure out what was going on. I was placed on 3 different medications, one of which was $800 a month, and insurance did not cover it. So that made it pretty tough. I didn't want to do anything but sit around. I mean, I loved my kids, I loved my family, but I just wanted to sit around. I was depressed. I wondered every day if this was the day I was going to die. And there were a few days where I kind of hoped it was. You know, I'd kind of gotten to that point where I was just like, you know, maybe they'd be better off without me if I wasn't here. Last September, we went on a much-needed vacation. We went to Florida. We hadn't been on vacation in years. Within the first couple of days, my oldest son comes back to me, and he's like, oh my gosh, Mom, I have met another homeschool family here, and they have kids our age, and you got to meet the mom. You know? So he introduced us, and we started talking, and after a while, we really hit it off, and after a while, you know, she started telling me her weight loss story, Karen, and of course, the first thing, well, how did you do that? You know, and then she started telling me about the plan, and I'm like, oh, not going to happen. We have 5 kids. We can't afford to do this. I just kind of shut her down. I took her little business card, and I took it back to the RV, and I actually lost it somewhere in the RV. I found it the other day, by the way, like months later. But I was sitting telling my husband, I finally was sitting there, and I decided to tell my husband about it. And I was like, I met this, you know, we met this lady, and she's lost this weight, and she surprised her husband, and I told him the whole story. And he wanted to know more. And I was like, well, I lost her business card. I'll try to get another one, you know. And after we talked for a little bit, he just looked at me and he said, let's do it. I mean, we were still in Florida. And he's like, let's do it. He's like, when we get back, we're going to sign up, and we're going to do it for a month. And if we don't like it, fine. You know, we wasted a month. And he's like, but if it works, you know. So since we've been married, my husband's had gained 75 pounds. And I really didn't realize how much that was affecting him. We'd noticed a lot of depression. I'd noticed some depression in him. I'd noticed mood swings, but I didn't have any idea what was driving it. I just thought it was like midlife crisis. I had no idea. But it turns out it was this weight gain. He was so depressed with himself and so disappointed with himself that it was showing outwardly in our family. He has met his original goal. He's lost 75 pounds. Since then, he has decided he'd like to lose a few more, because once he got there, he was like, oh, hey, you know, we could lose, you know, 5 or 10 more. So he's continuing on, and no more mood swings, no more depression. He wants to do things. He wants to get out. We're going to California next month. Yeah! So as for myself, I've lost 60 pounds. I'm no longer on any medications. Haven't been for a while. Wow. No more heart palpitations. No more issues with my heart at all. The other medical problem I was having that I had all the tests, 10 pounds later, went away completely. So it was that I needed to lose weight, you know, that 10 pounds fixed it. I still have a little ways to go. I'd like to lose about 70 more pounds, maybe 80. We'll see when we get there. But I feel so good. I feel so much better than I did. I want to get out. I like to get out and walk with the kids. We've been going out to the amusement parks. This year, for the first time since I was a teenager, I have ridden the roller coasters with my kids, and I loved it. I'm now kind of an adrenaline junkie. And Knott's Berry Farm in California. Here we go.
And you all can fit on all the rides, because you mentioned that.
Yeah, there's 2 that I couldn't ride, but by the end of summer, my goal is
That's right.
that I can ride them. There were so many that I could ride that every time I get on, I would go, oh, I couldn't have done this last year, but I could, you know. So I feel like a teenager again most days. My oldest son, I'll show you the picture a little bit, you can kind of see him. He's had a little bit of a weight problem, and he approached me about 2 weeks ago and said, Mom, you're doing so great. Can I please try this program? So I went and looked at the teen guide, and we set him up on the plan. He's been on it for about a week and 2 days, and he's lost 10 pounds.
Oh my God!
So, yeah. And he kept doing it, and he was like, Mom, I've lost 10 pounds. I'm like, yeah, I know. So he's really excited that he couldn't ride some of the roller coasters at the amusement park, so that's what, he'd been talking about it, but that really spurred him that day. As far as me being a health coach, very early on, she talked to me about being a health coach, and I was like, no way, you know, me, health coach, no. But as I began to lose weight, people began to ask what I was doing, and she asked me again. You know, people are asking now, you know, you've lost some weight, what do you think? And I was like, I would love to help others, but I have so much more to lose. Who wants me as a coach? You know, who's going to want me as a coach? And I was praying about it, and I was like, how am I going to find time? I'm homeschooling 5 kids. And I finally decided to jump in when a friend approached me and said, my husband wants to go on this program, he wants to lose the weight, and we want you to be his coach. And I'm like, okay. I was like, sometimes God is very, very quiet and doesn't really speak much, and some days he just yells in your face. And I was like, okay, I'm listening. So I talked to my hubby about it, and I was a little nervous what he would think, because, you know, I've done the other sold things before, so that's where my mindset still was at the time. And I talked to him about it, and he was like, well, we know it works. Let's do it. He was back to the let's do it from, you know, from Florida. So here I am, and my hope is to help as many people feel as good as I do now as I continue my journey to get where I want to be. So, wow.